Good Wednesday afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great day. Before you come in the chat, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video. So, I do have three thrift hauls that I didn't get to. You know how life is when we get busy and things happen. So, I had them downstairs, and my sweet daughter carried all the stuff upstairs. I'm glad she did. But anyway, I have a total of three, and I have been working on getting my upstairs rooms a little straightened up a little bit. And I've been working on that. And hello, Husan. Good to see you. Welcome in. And I've been working on that. And when you do look through, I did find my ring light, by the way. So that's a good thing, but I didn't put it there. Let's keep that in mind. I am doing fine, Hussein. How are you? Hussam, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So I always come live when I get these hauls, and that's just the way I do it. I like the interaction with the subscribers. And to me, they're all my friends, and I do really appreciate them. And I just like that interaction that you get that way. So I just go live. So we'll give it just a few minutes. I know there's a lot of auctions going on right now. So a lot of times it takes a little while for that notification to get out there. And there's Craig. Welcome in, sweetie. So, like I said, I've been working on, we have a rather large house, and I've been working in the room over there to get that straightened out. And I plan to put a table over in this corner once I get started. Hey, Jen, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. And as you know, you get stuff, you bring it. We have a basement as well. And you know what they say, the more room you have, the more things you get. So, but anyway, I'm so glad you guys are here. Don't forget that thumbs up. I would appreciate that. And it's good to see you guys. And I'm going to have to do like do one box, take it out, do another box, bring another one in, because that's how big this is, guys. I had too much going on. You know, when you have a home and you got to take care of that, you got to get a contact appointment for contacts to have your eyes looked at to make sure they haven't changed. So y'all know how it is. It's always something. And I had all this stuff. And by the way, I will be on Dawn's channel. I'm going to drop that link tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to drop that link as soon as I get to where I need to be. So let's go down here and go to this. It's so good to see you guys. But I was so excited. And usually when I buy these things, I come directly home and get right into it. But not this time. I had too much going on, guys. Hey, Lenore, welcome in, sweetheart. But I will be on Dawn's channel. Let me find that real quick and drop that link. I'm happy to see you guys too, Lenore. It's been long overdue for me to make my appearance on this channel. And I usually just come live. And let's see here. It's just something that I do. I've always done it that way because I do enjoy that interaction with you guys. It really makes my day. So let's go back over to me. And here I am. And there's Johnny. Welcome in, sweetheart. Good to see you. And there's Johnny. Welcome in, sweetheart. So coming into the chat right now, whoops, should be the link to that live stream on Dawn's channel. And I'm sure she would appreciate you subscribing to her channel as well. She's so close to 1K. Let me pull up her channel. I would really like to see her get there. She's worked very hard at, her, it's sometimes, guys, it's not easy, I'm telling you, to be a reseller. It really isn't. But I tell you, she's done a good job. And I think when we get that close, that we should all band together and help people, because that's what it's all about, guys. Sometimes it's not about us, it's about helping other people. And there is her link. That's Dawn's channel. And I would greatly appreciate if you would subscribe to her. I think she's like 30 off. But as we know on YouTube, anything can happen. So, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you, Johnny. Johnny is a big supporter. Johnny has a channel as well. And he eats some of the hottest peppers you've ever seen. I don't see how he does it. And I'm going to drop his because I don't believe we can ever have too many subscribers, right? So we're going to copy that link and get back in the chat again and drop his. I think support is so important. And then we're going to do Jen B's link, Jen B, and then Lenore's, because it's important, guys. That support means so much to people. We don't really realize that, but it really does. So here we go with Jen's channel, and we're going to drop that. Okay, where is it? There's Jen's channel. She's really talented. So we're going to get Lenore while we're at it. We don't want to leave anyone out because these are all fantastic channels. And I would like for you to subscribe to those. It does mean a lot. So we're going to copy that link. We're going to go back to my video. And there we have it. You're welcome, Lenore. And I think it's really important that that we do, you can never have too many subscribers, because sometimes YouTube you look up and you have this amount of subscribers and then all of a sudden you don't. So it never hurts to have that little padding going on there. And hey, Yvonne, welcome in, Gigi. Lenore, I am going to add you as a moderator, sweetheart. And that way you'll have a wrench, and if somebody comes in that's being a pain in the butt, then you can take care of them. Thank you very much. Because you always want to have that backup, because people, you know how it is sometimes. So we're going to get started. Oh Lord, guys. I'll just start right on the top. So we want to make sure people behave themselves before, unfortunately, we do have people that do that sometimes, and it's good to have that backup, that person with the power in case I get distracted that way. So the first up, guys, I believe this is a ice bucket, and it's an old one, and I do believe that it is Wexford. And see, Wexford, and it's got the diamond points on there. It has a very nice handle. You can tell it's vintage by the bottom of the piece. I love to pick up these old things, possibly too well. Now, where's my ruler? So this is approximately, seems like Wexford must be in my wheelhouse because I find it all the time. So the initial piece itself is about 4.5 inches, and it is approximately 5 inches deep. Oh, yes, Lenore. And if you like vintage glassware, that's all I pick up. I do have a one source. And I can tell what this is because once you get into glass, you pretty much know what things are. And you can tell. And I have bought so much that I am almost an authority on it. But isn't that neat? Of course, it needs a bath. And of course, I always wash these things before I ever send them out. I don't care, because they're beautiful and I think it's not crystal, it is pressed glass. I never send out a piece that is less than clean. I don't, you know. And like I said, we know, these things are handled by a lot of people. So it's just best to clean them up before you let them go. So there's that one. Let me put it where I won't block my internet or we'll be in trouble. So next up, and thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. This is vintage. This, my friends, is an Anchor Hawking. It's kind of like an amber color, and it is vintage. I'll give you a height on it. It's a good sized one. There are no cracks, and it is older from the 70s. So it's approximately 9 inches tall. Perfect for if you want to serve like lemonade or tea or whatever. One of the characteristics of Anchor Hawking that you will see, I'll draw it on this piece of paper. There is a characteristic of Anchor Hawking that it's always there. So keep in mind, I'm not an artist. So we're going to make an anchor, and I'll show you what it looks like. So if you're out, you'll know. So it looks like this. This is what it looks like. You have the anchor and then the H that intersects. That is Anchor Hawking products. And sometimes it's on there and sometimes it isn't. But that's what you want to look for, that right there, that anchor, and then that crossing section there, that is Anchor Hawking. And I seem to be finding a lot of that lately. And this is good size, guys. I could imagine, having guests over and having tea or lemonade and that. I think this is a very appropriate time of the year to have something like this. We like beautiful vintage stuff, but we like for them to be functional as well. So, set this where I can sew. Coming up next. Now this one's different, guys. And while I was looking where the vintage stuff is, a lady that worked there, she goes, I couldn't find this piece, but it's called the Old Man. Let me look at the gentleman on the bottom there. This piece sells for high dollar, guys. See the guy and his beard there? And it, of course, they mark everything vintage. And I think this sells for about $60 online. But I will tell you exactly what you're looking at. She said she couldn't find it, but boy, I did. And I said, thank you for pointing that out. Now, where's my gallery? But it's just different. It's things that you don't see. It might take me a minute because I've got some major stuff going on in my phone here. Let's see, what thrift was that? I have to think back, guys, because I have been thrifting and thrifting and thrifting. It's a good thing I do have a big house, guys. I'd be in trouble for sure. I can't find it, but I'm going to take another picture. But it's called The Old Man and something else, and I think that is milk glass. I'm not for sure. Just let me snap a quick picture of this. Where's the camera? Let's see. Go into the camera and snap a picture. But she gave me a good clue because She told me she couldn't find it, and she said it's called the Old Man or something. It's just different. So let's take a look at what we have here so we can nail it down. I thought it was really different. Okay, it is vintage white milk glass, and it's called, so many times, and it's rare, guys. This is rare. I know it's weird to have an old gentleman hanging on to a thing, but it's rare. And it's, according to this, it is, that's not even the right one. And it's called Old Man something or another. Let me see if I can find it. It's Antique Atterbury Atlas, guys. So we're talking about, and it's called the Old Man and something else. But as you can see, look at the bottom of that. And it does sell for high dollar online. It depends on who has it. And look at the intricate designing right there at the bottom. It is very different. And he's showing his behind. Hey, Shell Bell, welcome in. And he is showing his bottom, and but there he is. It's an old gentleman. You'd be surprised what this thing goes for. I probably already mooned you guys because I turned it around, but oh well. But yes, this one goes for a pretty penny, and it is milk glass, and it is vintage. And just to wrap it up, I tell you, I've been upstairs working for the past 3 days. I did find my ring light. That was a good thing, and it was in a place where I didn't put it, which leads me to believe that somebody else put it there, but that's another story. So moving on. Oh, this is wonderful, guys. This is old too, and I know what you guys like, so I always kind of pick up things that I know that you guys like. I know what you like. We've been together for quite some time now, and I know what you like. That's a bell right there. Alrighty then. Let's keep moving. What is this? Oh, those are those real beautiful champagne glasses. Okay, that's the same. Did we find it? I think we did. No, that's another old piece right there. Rare Mond Ford Crystal. Boy, that's an old one. All right, what'd they do with it? It might be in another box, guys. I may have to go get that other box. So, I'm glad my daughter brought this up here because very nice of her, because we have to come up a flight of steps upstairs. And look at this, guys. This is it's hand painted, and hand painted Nippon China, Japan. I mean, look at this, guys, and it is vintage. I'll take the sticker off so you can get the full effect. That is crazy. Let go. Confucius say not stick sticker on a beautiful painting. That is hand painted, guys. And Nippon is known for its high quality pieces, and that is hand painted. Isn't that gorgeous? And here's your signage on the back of it. Let's see if we can get it up there. See, it's hand painted. And it's just a little dish. I'm not for sure what it's used for. Let's take a quick picture. I just thought it was beautiful, and I know hand painted items do go rather well. So I just picked it up. I know a lot of this stuff is popular, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. It is vintage for sure, and it has the most beautiful gold gilding along the edges. Isn't that beautiful? And it appears to all, except for a few little spots. But when something's old like that, but the most important is on the top is in real good shape. And I'll show that to you. So it's good to see everyone. Thank you so much for coming in. I know there are oodles and scads of auctions out there that's going on right now. And if I wasn't here, I'd be right there myself. Hey, Laura, you working and lurking? Yeah, Laura is always creating. Let's see. All right. This is a vintage Nortaki serving dish, likely from the peony pattern, which features a hand painted scene with a boat, palm trees, and sunset over the water. Nortaki, a Japanese company known for its high quality porcelain and bone china. So I think this is referred to the, of all things, the peony, and it is hand painted. So while some Nortaki pieces, especially older or rarer patterns, can be available, the value of individual serving dishes like this can vary depending on the condition and the demand. But isn't that beautiful? It has such a, I don't know, it's just a real relaxing type look to it. Hand painted. Boy, the Japanese do it right, don't they? Yeah, Nortaki is kind of known for the upper echelon of pieces, and a lot of it's hand painted. I like to wrap my stuff back up in the thing that way. All right, guys, I'm going to have to exit stage that way to get some more. So, oh, wait a minute before I go. This is amazing, guys, and I just happened to, and I think, hang on just a second. All right. So it says, it's got the sticker on it, and it says Raymond handmade crystal and silver plate made in Sengland. So I wonder what that. Let me see if I can't get it, but the sticker is still on it. So it's whatever this place is, Sengland, whatever that is. And this is silver plate, and I can kind of tell by some of the little. It's got a little tarnishing on that, but there's your sticker right here on that. Let me move it in a little bit. And it still has that sticker on it. So that was a pretty nice find there. I don't think it's an ice bucket, guys. I think it's something else. I didn't even take a picture of it. I just grabbed it because I knew it was very old, and you can tell by the way it looks. So take a quick picture of that. It was kind of one of those things I kind of grabbed when I was going out. I seen it. I'm like, this is a candy dish, guys. It doesn't have a lid. This is a vintage footed glass candy dish, likely made of crystal, with a detailed floral or rib pattern and a silver colored rim. It features a detailed pattern which could be described as floral, ribbed, or twisted tulip. I think we have the twisted tulip here, guys, as you can see. And similar dishes, particularly with intricate patterns, were often produced by factories known for crystals such as Anna Hoot and German Glass Factory. Yeah, this is the tulip design. It's a candy dish, and it is old, let me tell you. Let's see. Commonly used as a candy dish, it can also serve as a dessert dish, vase, or decorative centerpiece. But I'll move it in so you can see the detail on that. But I know this thing is old. I don't know how old it is, but I do know it's old. And with that sticker to survive all these years, and I didn't really look up, I thought it said England, and I just grabbed it and went on. ENG. It does, guys. It does say England. It was just written in fancy script. It says England on it. So this piece made it all the way. It's from England, and I don't know what I was spelling, so there's that. We'll put that down. And I spotted these. How much? I don't know, Lenore. Lenore, just send me an email, sweetheart. I don't know why and we'll talk about it, hon, if you're interested. I never turn down. There you go, sweetheart. There we go. Because I had someone to purchase something from a short that I did, and I don't mind inquiries, guys. I mean, gee whiz, I like to make sure everyone gets what they want. I saw these and I fell in love with them immediately. I know that's a bell. Let's put that down there. Oh my goodness, guys. I saw these and I'm like, oh wow, those are beautiful. Check these out. I've got 6 of them, and look. Just look at that. It kind of reminds me of a calla lily. Look at the bottom of that. Talk about your fancy. That is fancy. And I was automatically drawn to them, so I just picked, I think I have 6. And the glass is kind of thin, but isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. So I'll tell you what it is. I usually try to pick these things up, especially if they're kind of unique. So let's make a quick little picture. But I saw them and I just thought, wow, those are gorgeous. So I just picked them up. Uh-huh. Moving. I know I've seen them. I think they're Linux. I can't even talk. Linux. And I think they're referred to forevermore. but they do have that calla lily look to them. And I just thought they were really, really neat. So I picked 6 of these up. And as you can see, they're rather thin. So I just thought that they were really neat. Somebody had good taste on that. Let's see. Let's see stuff back. I won't be banging around. Guys, I had stuff in my daughter's trunk for almost 2 weeks, and I've been driving her car because the guy finally got the car in, and then he discovered that it was for a V8, a V6 instead of a V8, and that's what my car is. So they had to come and pick the old one off. Well, it wasn't the old one, the one that wouldn't work, and bring the one that did work. And when he called, he really didn't leave a message. And I thought, oh gosh, is there something wrong with the car? But it was just that they had made a mistake on sending the wrong part. I'll be right back. What you want, Gizzy? What you want, Gizzy? Gizzy? Come on, buddy. Watch out. Mom's coming. Watch out. Come here, buddy. Look who I've got. Did you come up here wondering where Mom was? Okay, that's enough kisses. This is Gizmo. Say hi, Gizmo. Say hello. This is Chihuahua number 1, and he is Gizmo. Chihuahua number 2 is Ginger, and he's a mama's boy. You want to go back downstairs with Shannon? My husband had been off on vacation, and they were so used to him being home that now he went back to work, and they're both feeling a little sad. Won't you go downstairs to Shannon, okay? I get it. Go back down there to Shannon. Be good boy. There you go. Going down there. You want to stay in here? Okay. I'm not going to hold you. You have to. What a mama's boy, you guys. You want to stay up here? Probably wondering where my husband is. He's the one that spoils him so bad. Of course, I might be guilty a little bit, but guys, I know this is a Fenton. I found a Fenton hobnail, and I know it's the real deal. And when I seen the bumps on it, I said, that's Fenton. And boy, I went over there and see, a lot of times people, when they don't really know what they're looking at, that they'll pass it up. But there's certain characteristics about Fenton, especially, ruffle is one of them. It's a different piece. Ruffle's one of them, and hobnail is another one. And this is really old. It is not. I know it's Fenton for sure. All right, there's the top. I've got things spread out everywhere. I see something I think Craig will probably go bananas over. All right, where's the top? What is this? That's another piece that I know he's going to like. Where is the bottom or top yet? Let's see. There's that one. Man, there's a menagerie in here. I don't even know which ends up. Let me see if this is it. Aha, we have it. This is absolutely, without a doubt, Fenton. And it goes like that. You got to stay there, buddy. You can't get in my lap. So we have a beautiful hobnail piece here. And they marked vintage all over it. Of course, I knew it was vintage when I looked at it. But we have a Fenton candy dish. We'll go back downstairs. I don't think he can make his mind up. Look at that. There's your bottom to that. That is Fenton. And here's the top. And here's the bottom. We have a Fenton milk glass piece. And boy, wasn't I happy when I'm surprised it was still there. Hey, Ginger, welcome in. 114. My goodness. I don't think it's quite as hot here, but so here we have a Fenton. Thank you. He was whining at the door. So, and welcome in, Ginger, but that is Fenton. You talk about a find and a half. That was a find. And sometimes the reason why these pieces don't get noticed is because sometimes Fenton, when they don't see the Fenton mark, then they just assume that it's just a regular piece, but it is vintage. It's really pretty. So let's get that measurement on that. I'm always on the lookout for Fenton because I know that it's really well loved. This is an old one though. This is really old. It's about 9.5 inches tall. But like I said, not every. I think Fenton used to use stickers on their pieces. But if someone don't, a lot of people look for marks, and if they don't see a mark, they pass it up. And that's when I swoop in and get it. Say, Mama didn't raise no fool, did she? So there's a beautiful Fenton milk glass vintage. It is Fenton. Now, not everybody collects the milk glass. A lot of people like the cranberry colors and etc. But sometimes people go after certain colors of Fenton sometimes. Well, since we're on it, we might as well bring this one up. It's green. And I thought it was really pretty, and I always like to take screenshots so I know exactly what I'm dealing with. So when I first looked at this beautiful piece, I thought, oh, that's nice, but where's the lid? It doesn't have a lid because it wasn't meant to have one. And look at that beautiful, beautiful decoration. It even carries out on the bottom. And I'll tell you what it is. I kind of checked for that, guys, because whenever there's a lip or something on a piece, and I was at the Salvation Army and I've seen pieces and I said, darn, the lid's not there. And that's probably why it was cheaper, probably. But sometimes the lids do get broken. So, and that's what I thought this was. And I felt for like the little lip that's on most of them. And it didn't have one. I said, let me take a picture and see if it's missing or not. So we will go into this and take a look, search that image. I think a lot of times I have people that like the clear glass, but I also got people that like the colors of glass like red and green and so on and so forth. Oh my. This is a vintage E.O. Brody and Company emerald green glass pedestal compote or bowl. So it is produced by E.O. Brody and Company, which I'd never heard of, but it was made in the United States by the E.O. Brody Company in Cleveland, Ohio. I wonder, Shell Bell, how if you're still in chat, how far away is Cleveland, Ohio from you? Because I know Shell Bell lives in Ohio. During the mid 20th century, specifically between 1941 and 1969. But it is a compote. They could be used as candy dishes or decorative centerpieces. Oh, yeah, it's marked very clearly E.O. Brody, and it does have a number and it does talk about, and it says these vintage glass pieces are considered collectible, especially for those who are interested in mid century glassware or Depression glass style items. But yeah, it's an early American sandwich glass. And it says very clearly on the bottom, I just kind of picked it up, and these were made in the United States. It said USA, but it was made by E.O. Brody. And this one has a number on it, and you probably can't see it, but it does have the E.O. Brody on it. So evidently back then, if you were a glass company that, hey Shell Bell, how far are you from Cleveland, Ohio? But back then, it was a big deal, especially if your name was synonymous with glass making. They always marked their pieces to prevent any imposters from coming in and, taking their patterns and everything like that. And that's where they were benchmarked with that number. So moving on. So this one is Lefton, which Lefton is a pretty good brand. And it's a little, I guess you would put jewelry in it or whatever, or put it on your vanity. Or I thought it was really pretty. And it is a vintage piece. It is marked as such. Here's what it looks like. Here is the top part. I always put it's vintage. And it has a bottom part and it says hers on it. As if you really needed to know that this had feminine jewelry in it or something associated with a female. And here on the bottom, you have that Lefton sticker still hanging in there after all this time, and it is vintage. Let me hold it still. Focus. Oh, for God's sake. But it is Lefton. I'm trying to get it to focus. And it's not going to, darn it. There's more than one way to skin a cat. All right. Let's see if we can get that on there to where. But it is left. There we go. Lefton. And Lefton pieces are very collectible. It also has little feet on it. And they are very collectible. It as well is marked with numbers right there. So that is a Lefton piece. And it says hers, and it is vintage. And it does need to be cleaned up, but I thought it was pretty. It'd be pretty on someone's vanity. I don't know, Ginger. I guess it was just I think it was made as part of it. I think that's left. I think left and possibly did that. There could be been a one that was his. But yes, it's in really, really beautiful gold color. Yeah, I know that's obvious. It is floral. Now I'm reaching down. What's this? A bell? We have a bell. And if it's the one that I'm thinking of, it's from Germany. Oh boy, this is beautiful. I got two bells, as a matter of fact. Well, this one, you'll love this bell. It is so different, and it's got the sticker on it. This one, guys, is different. Let's see. But yeah, a lot of people do collect bells. They was very adventurous with the stickers that day, just saying. I had never seen a bell done this way, and it is marked. Let's go in here and look. It does have a sticker on it, how tattered it might be. It says genuine lead crystal hand cut with 24 something lead oxide made in West Germany, guys. And wait till you see it. There's your sticker. You probably can't see it, but it does still have the sticker that does state it is made in West Germany. And if I can get it to cooperate, probably not. But you have all your information on there. And isn't that, this is old, guys. This is really old. And as you can see, your detail right there. They always mark their vintage items. And it's made different. A little bit, it kind of, if you held it like this, it almost looks like a goblet or something. But yeah, this is beautiful. And it's old, and it's from West Germany. So naturally, I picked it up. It has a beautiful sound, but the amber glass is just something you don't see. Usually bells are just one color. But this beauty, which does have some age on it, is tri-toned and is in very good vintage condition. That's an old one. With the sticker, I kind of like the stickers, kind of backs up the your validity of what you say it is, and that's why I like stickers. So, well, ring for the butler, or for whom the bell tolls, right? So, next up, let's see, there's another bell in there too. Oh, dear me, look at this. And this is vintage too, and it's reticulated. Things that were reticulated, this better not be what I think it is. Ugh. Don't tell me they cracked that when they packed. It had to have been them, because it wasn't me, darn it. Oh my gosh. I'm going to leave the sticker on because it's going back. What a shame. They broke it though because I didn't do it. Darn it. Talk about, that's why you got to be so careful with this stuff. I got this from Bruce and Dennis. Isn't that beautiful? It's got a butterfly on it, and it has a pinkish hue to it. And I had to have it. I'm thinking like the husband's thinking, you don't know what you got. You probably, he said, every day's probably an adventure, isn't it? I said, well, sure it is. Okay. This one, guys, has a unicorn on it. And I thought it was very novel, and it is old. And it has a unicorn on it. See the unicorn? And that is another old bell. Let me see here. That probably made it worse, but it's a unicorn. And this is the glass right here is frosted, and it is a unicorn. You ever seen a unicorn on a bell? And let me tell you what this is. So, this is absolutely an older bell as well. Let me take a picture of this. Yeah, I had stuff in my daughter's car for almost 2 weeks because I'd been driving her car. I'll be glad when I get my car back. Let's see. No, nobody, it's not good to have the air conditioner not working in the heat of the summer, that's for sure. Way too hot. Let's see if it's the same one. This is crystal, as a matter of fact. And like I said, it is a unicorn. Corn. Very beautiful unicorn, if that's your thing. Where did it go? I hate when I click on something and it goes to something totally different. Where's it at? I know a lot of people collect bells. Oh yeah, it's crystal, and it is of the vintage nature. Of course, that's all I pick up. But if you're into unicorns, there it is. I thought it was different, and I knew it was old. You have that little jagged detail on the bottom. And I thought, well, someone may like that. But that Fenton piece was a score for sure. I was excited about that one. Hey, Bird on a Wire, welcome in. Good to see you, sweetie. Oh, Lord. This is a fruit bowl, and what a beautiful fruit bowl it is. And check this out. This is old, and it's pretty awesome, I thought. Look at that. And this is original to the piece as well. I looked it up. It's like a bamboo. I'm glad you're here, Bird on a Wire, but look. Is that not amazing or what? And it is for fruit, like on your table. And this piece is original to the. And then we have some pears, strawberries, grapes on the bottom. Isn't that amazing? That is beautiful. And I'll tell you how big it is. And it's old too. It's about, we're looking at 12 inches that way. And then it is approximately about 8.5 the other way. It's in beautiful vintage condition. And there's your bottom. It is dirty, but I'm going to clean it up. I ain't going to send it to you like that. And this is kind of frosted type material right there. But isn't that gorgeous? But yes, the handle is original to the piece. I checked it out. It's like a bamboo. Isn't that beautiful? That would make anyone's table look fantastic, wouldn't it? There's the long view, and you've got your swirls in there. Beautiful piece. When I seen it, I'm kind of have my eyes out for older things. And when I saw it, I said, I know that's old. It has to be. You just get a vibe, after you look at so many pieces, you just get this vibe about things, and it's like I'm drawn to it. Oh, yes, Shelbelle, wouldn't that though? That would take an ordinary table into extraordinary, just saying. I don't know if Craig's still out there, but he bought an awful lot of this amber colored glass. And voila, there we have it. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I think this is a compote. There's the inside of the bottom. And this is part of a collection. And it is amber colored. Yeah, and it's original, I thought. Did somebody put that on there? But no, it is original to the piece. So, Craig, if you're out there, look what I've got. Just saying. I know Craig did buy a tremendous amount of amber colored pieces. Of course, the light does wash it out, but it is amber colored. So, but yes, I try to kind of, sometimes I look for theme things, and if I remember what someone buys, then. So, this is an Ellie Smith Amber Moon and Stars. So that is your moon on the top and your star on the bottom. Glass pedestal compote. It says that it was made by Ellie Smith, likely in the 1970s, as part of their Colony product line. It features an iconic moon and stars pattern and amber colored pressed or fused glass with a glossy finish. But yes, this is an Ellie Smith piece, and it is amber colored. And I know that I have bought a lot of Ellie Smith's pieces. Seem to be popular, about 6.5 inches tall. But I just thought that on the bottom of that is so pretty, and it carries out the star pattern on the bottom, and there again right there. And I just thought it was amazing. Of course, when you're on a roll with amber glass and people like it, you just pick it up, and that's an L.E. Smith, which is a pretty prestigious glass company back in the day. So next up, oh boy, check it out, ladies. And I know Craig, hello, Craig, has the pieces that match this. And you know how I know? Because I sold them to him. Look at this, ladies. Isn't that the cat's meow? And then here's your bottom. It has that flower on the bottom. It is really a beautiful. Look at the ruffles. Isn't that gorgeous? And I'll give you a measurement on it. I seen that and I said that looks familiar, so I know it matches. It's 10 inches across, over 10, about 10 and a quarter, and it is approximately about 5 inches deep. It is part of a pattern that I'm not for sure. Let's take a picture, but I know Craig does have a lot of this. So this will be a nice addition to his collection. Just saying, right? So there we have it. I just thought it was a beautiful piece. Isn't that gorgeous? You can tell that that is very, no, 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 no. Okay. You can just tell when something's all that. You know what I mean? So, this is Indiana Glass Tiara, which I know I've sold before, and it's the sandwich pattern, a popular design from Indiana Glass. It's it's a footed console bowl with a large scalloped rim suitable for serving items like salads, fruits, or desserts. The Tierra line was marketed through home parties by Tierra exclusives from 1970 to 1998, with Indiana Glass producing a significant portion of the glassware. So that particular piece is an amber or desert gold is another name for it. But that is something else. I know that. So it ranges in different prices. Some people have it at different prices, but it's an Indiana glass piece. And I just thought it was divine myself. And as you can see, it does have that textured thing behind the flowers there. A beautiful piece to add to someone's collection that, because I know I've sold it before and I know who I sold it to. So that's probably part of the decision making in that. But anyway, moving on. And now we have the notorious candy dish. And I know how you guys like these lidded candy dishes. I know a little bit about y'all, just a little bit. So, you know, I'm willing to accommodate. Shelbell, I have yet to locate that lamp uh, that I know you're looking for. I haven't seen any yet, but you never know. I've been looking. So here we have the thing that you guys like so well. So here is the bottom part of it right here, and it is a candy dish. Of course, it is vintage. Here is the top, and it's got these little things right there on it. And this is what it looks like when it's together. And it is an older one. It feels like pressed glass to me. Kind of. I don't know. I can't describe how pressed glass. It's just something that when you look at enough of it, you kind of can tell, I guess you'd say. So let's see if it's got a name behind it. So, guys, I've been working up here, upstairs. It's been crazy. It is from the 1970s, and it's a vintage Passari heart, is what they say. Pasari, and it is a Passari heart. So there's your candy dishes. I know how you guys like your candy dishes. So there is that one. I have another lovely piece coming up next. There. So I know some people do like plates, and especially the older ones. This one you hang up, and it is older. If I can get that sticker off of it. So now, oh, this is a good one, guys. This is the Ardot Japan, and these are high dollar, just saying. And it has hand painted Lin Wild China, and I do have a Lin Wild China piece, Japan, and it's numbered. But look at this, guys. Isn't that beautiful? Now that's an oldie right there. Is that our not brand is pretty pricey. I think I have another piece somewhere else. But there you have the swans, and you can hang it. And there's that are not cane talk right there. And you know that is quality when you see that. So there is a very beautiful, I thought it was beautiful. Got your swans going on there. And I thought it was pretty nice. Be pretty in a bathroom, something like that. Let's see. That's the bottom of the candy dish. I try to keep all this stuff. I'm going to put a table over. I've got a whole room over there, a hallway that way, and another room to the back. Oh, it's just getting it organized, guys. You know how we get something and that's in the way, and we bring it upstairs or in the basement. And the next thing we look at, we're like, oh my goodness, did I do that? So, this is the piece I was looking for. And they said, how dare you buy another candy dish? Sorry, guys, couldn't help it. But look at this. Isn't that amazing? And it's red and it's older. It is, and I'll tell you what it is here. Shell Bell said she's got my number. She knows what I like. But you don't often see candy dishes. They're mostly, clear glass. But this one was red, and I felt like it was a special one. And I think it is. And we'll look it up, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. It is different. I mean, most candy dishes you see are clear glass. Every now and then, it's kind of nice to have something a little different. Let's see. Unbranded glass. It says it's unbranded. It is vintage and retro. Let's see here if that's the same one. I think it's what they call, let me see the bottom of that. You know what, guys? This is almost funny because I used to work for this company. I think this is a Cracker Barrel piece. Believe it or not, that's what it keeps coming up as. I don't remember in my 5-year tenure with that company, ever seen anything like this. And I left in when was it? 1999. I left there. I worked for him for 5 years. And of course, I started out in the dish room, guys, and they made me the trainer after 30 days. And I was over all those. There was like all kinds of guys back there. And then I graduated from that up to the front to the register. Then they conned me into working the prep area. I'm like, you guys. So I did the prep area and prepared the chicken pot pies and did this, that, and the other, and made their salads up ahead of time. And yeah, I think this is a Cracker Barrel piece, but I don't remember seeing this. But believe it or not, but it is red glass. That's the one I worked at that they told me they said my drawer was like this is like 10.5 inches tall. They told me my drawer was $50 off, and I'm like, no way. This is almost 7 inches across. So I go home and naturally I'm very disturbed about it. But I knew I couldn't be. And one of the managers called me and he said, that money was there. Come to find out, the general manager counted the drawer down and she said it was $50 short so she could go back and put her hand in the cookie jar. And they finally caught her. She was stealing. What she would do was she would owe a bill and she didn't have the money. So since she naturally was exposed to a lot of money, and she thought she was going to get her $50 at my expense, and that manager said, "Your money is right here." And I said, "Well, thanks for telling me." And she got caught for being a thief, floating money, and they walked her right out the front door. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, Bell, isn't that terrible? She had a very lucrative thing going, but I knew I wasn't. I mean, I would know if I was made that many mistakes. But she got caught. God bless her. And so she had her hand, and then they was blaming this other manager, and he didn't do it. And it was like I would see some of the people that were in higher positions go back there and look through the office window. It wasn't him, it was her that was doing all the putting her hand in the cookie jar. And the last time she done it, it got slapped and she got walked out the front door, which she should have. Isn't that awful, guys? I wasn't going to take. I'm glad he told me because maybe he suspected she was up to something. $50 is a lot to be off, and if you make that many mistakes, you need to go back in the back and work in the back. I tell you, talking about dirty deeds, that was awful. See, people, they eventually get caught. If you earn it the honest way and be honest about it, you never have to worry about it. Okay, guys, I have another box incoming. Hang on. Let me move this out of the way and bring on the next. So, this thing weighs a ton, guys. Mercy. There was this one guy, he was working as a cashier and he was really intelligent. I mean, book smart. And he could not count money back to save his soul. And they ended up canning him because if you couldn't be off only so many times, either over or short, because they get rid of you. Of course, we never knew. Oh, guys, this is so darn cute. I have something similar to this, but it's really big. Look at this. How beautiful is that? And it would, you can hang it, a lot of people hang these indoors because they're so pretty and they would accentuate, of course, it's a lot of dyed shell. But there we have, it's about that big. Isn't that beautiful? And this says made in the Philippines. So beautiful shell. I've got a humongous one that's about as it's taller than me. Of course, you wouldn't have to be too tall to be taller than me. But isn't that gorgeous? And made in the Philippines. Beautiful, beautiful. I know a lot of people like this type of thing, but yep. Can you imagine that hanging out on your porch or something? Me and these large bowls, I tell you. This is a doozy. This is gorgeous. It is old. And this came from the Goodwill. We was up there. I had to drop a package out. But it did look at this is just amazing. Look at the beautiful. Now, is that not drop dead gorgeous? And you have feet on the bottom. And I know a lot of people like these footed items. Isn't that beautiful? And it, let me see, I took a picture of it and gave an explanation. It's a big one, not as big as some of them are. And to come across, it is almost 13 inches across. It's a big one. I was just really, I thought that looks old to me. It's about 4 inches deep. But I just think that the roses in that are really beautiful. So naturally, I pick it up. Why not, right? Let's see if I can find it. It should be in here somewhere. But that says that red one's from Cracker Barrel. I never that must have been way back in the day because I don't remember anything like that ever being sold there. But it's nice though. There's that one. That's not it. By the time I find it, I could make a picture of it quicker. But I think it's old. And that day I forgot my phone, and my husband took off, and he was in the store. And I always like to make pictures of this stuff, and I had to commandeer him back over to where I was so I could take pictures. You know. So this is what? Oh dear me. Okay, what this is that's not what I'm looking for. Hang on just a second. Surely that's not there. It is. Holy cow, guys! You're not going to believe what this sells for. It's Cambridge art glass. Oh my gosh! I didn't realize what I got my hands on. It's Cambridge Vintage Rose Point Crystal, and you won't believe what this sells for. Let's see, it's etched. Oh my goodness. Cambridge Rose Point. I think that's a winner. Okay, glassware. Let's visit. So it's definitely listed in with the antiques and stuff like that, and it's mixed in with the Fostoria. And it is like an early American piece. So, man, you wouldn't believe the price that I just saw. I'm like, oh my goodness. Wow. Early American. I believe it's an antique, guys. Yeah, ding, 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 ding. Where's my bell at? I got a pink bell somewhere. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh. And look at the shape that that is in. Oh my. I don't know. I just seem to have, I think those are etched. As a matter of fact, they are. These are etched into that, which probably alludes to this some of the pricing that I've seen. But isn't that the cat's meow? But yeah, that's etched. That's not a decal or anything. So we better handle that with kit gloves, right? Let's see here. The guy that was packing this up, I told him, I said, put some bags in between that. I said, that glass is really delicate. I said, do you have a box? And he said, yeah, over there. I said, I think I'll be needing that. So, moving on. He said, boy, that lady's feisty. I was nice. I wasn't mean about it. Let's see. I have 6. So, this is another goodie, oldie but a goodie. Look at these. Look at that. And they are vintage. And I have 6 of them. Always believe in getting things in even numbers. Hey, who's Sam? Welcome in. Yep, we hit the mother load on that. Just saying. So let's take a picture. You'd be surprised how many of these things that if they come through the Thrift or the Goodwill Salvation Army, sometimes they get so much of it. Sometimes they just want to get it out there, and they don't really check to see what it is. Hmm. I thought that these were really, really pretty. And these are Imperial Clear Cape Cod cordial glasses with a pedestal vase. And I have 6 of them, and there's your bottom. Hey, Gia, welcome in, sweetie. Good to see you. These would be pretty if you had like for those who don't eat a lot of dessert. Said no one ever, right? But look at that. Look at that way it's cut there. Good to see you, Gia. But that's what it is. Imperial Clear Cape Cod cordial glasses, pedestal base. Look at that diamond point cut right there. Isn't that beautiful? Pressed glass. You can just tell that, but it is pressed glass. There's something about, you know, you just know when you know. All right, guys, we're getting close. It's like, Lord have mercy, would that woman buy out the whole store or what? Okay, guys. This one's a little different. Okay, guys. A lot of times, after when you have a few less children in your home and you want to really doll up your kitchen, well, let me set this somewhere. I have, of course, I got a different style, but I only have one of those. But this is that Wexford. It's not the Coez because I sold some Coez, but this is not it because normally, and guys, I have 4 of those like that, and that is Wexford Diamond Point, and I have 4 of them. They are in excellent condition. There is the top of it, and I have 4 of them. So you figure like coffee, flowers, sugar, and whatever else. I don't know, Gia, but I have 4 of these, and these are nice, guys. Let me give you a measurement. I just happened to luck in on being able to get my hands on 4 of them, and they are a little over 9 inches with the lid, and they are beautiful. They would make a nice addition to anyone's kitchen if you have a large, like a bathroom that's got some kind of vanity or something on it. You can put cotton balls or whatever. But this is a Wexford piece diamond point, and I have 4 of them. When I first saw that, I thought it was that Coez, but it's not because Coez is normally marked on the bottom. And then I have a total different style, but I only have 1 of these. And it's this one. This is not Coez neither because it's not marked. Yeah, your tea bags and keep them fresh. And here's another style, but I only have 1 of them. This seems to have a really good, but yeah, I know a lot of people do like to, these would be perfect canisters, and they're all the same size. But yeah, this one they tape the top on to keep it from being broke. This doesn't have any seal on it. And when I seen them, I thought they were that Coez brand, the Apothecary. Yeah, that's the one Bell has. All right. And I thought they were Apothecary, but they're not, and they're not that Coez brand. I had remember the little short ones that I had that time. But yeah, there's that. So let's gingerly put that back in there. So I got all that on Saturday. So what's this? So what did I do with that bag? I must have took it downstairs. Well, thank you, Gia. It's good to see you. What did I do with that bag? But of course, I do have some other things that I didn't get the chance to put out on the last round. So that's a lot, guys. And tomorrow, I'm going to be on Dawn's channel tomorrow, and I'll drop that link in the chat. And I will be with her tomorrow, and more than likely, there will be a sale the following Thursday with me, just me, guys. But I will be on with Dawn. Let me pull that up real quick. So let's see here. It's always good to cooperate with other channels. It gives you more, possibly more exposure, and it's just a good thing. So let me get that link and drop that. And me and Dawn has spoke on the phone before, and we get along so well. And she's a good person. She is really close. She's 30 away from 1K. And I tell you, Dawn has worked hard. And sometimes people can be pretty nasty toward other resellers. And here is that link to that sale. and she has worked very hard. We drop her link as well, and she has worked very hard to get where she is. And as we know, guys, sometimes people can be pretty nasty, and she has kept going, and she's doing really well. Sometimes we are in the company of possibly people we should not be with, and sometimes they do a lot of talking and ridicule, but she hung in there and she's going strong and she's almost at 1K. And I hope so very much that she gets there. She's a good person. We've talked together on the phone before, and she's good to talk to as well. But that is the extent of what I have, guys. I just thought these were amazing when I saw them. So I will be on with Dawn on her channel. That is the link down in there, and there is her channel. I know, Shelbelle, and it shouldn't be. You know, I know, G. It's really sad, but there are people that they think it's a competition, and they want recognition, and they don't care who they step on to get there. To me, it's it's not a competition. Everyone grows at their own rate, but there's just some people that just be happy for people. Don't be, encourage people. It's really easy. She has had some experiences, Gia, but you know what? She has risen above all of that. And I have a lot of respect for her, because sometimes when we get hurt like that, when I hear and see someone talk nasty things, I never purchase from them. They don't deserve my hubby's hard earned money. That's right, Shelbelle. If we can't deal with each other with love and compassion, because let's face it, guys, it's a hard enough life out there. You know what I mean? And it's really unnecessary, but sometimes you gotta roll with the punches. You might get knocked down, but you get back up. And that's why I have so much respect for Dawn, because gosh, she's really been through it. And I was so happy to hear about her being so close to 1K, because she stood the test of time through circumstances that she shouldn't have had to. But excuse me, I'm glad, Gia, because she really needs that. And she's really a good person, guys. She really is. And sometimes, guys, the worst scars on people are the ones we can't see, the ones that people don't talk about, that have really, like I said, sometimes scars are not visible, guys, and that's why it's so important to be good to people. It takes absolutely no effort to be good to somebody, but I'm telling you, we should, be kind one toward another, because we don't know what people go through. We don't know the trials they've went through. And a lot of people, guys, a lot of people out there on in YouTube, and a lot of the auctions do not have the best of health. They really don't, and they look forward to that interaction with other people, and to have fun, and for people to lift each other up, because after all, we spend a lot of time with one another, and it's just so much better to be kind to people and things like that. You get no, no, Gia, I got choked on coffee. I wasn't laughing at you. it went down the wrong pipe. But no, we should really strive to be better human beings on this earth because, guys, life is short and we should spend it and be happy and uplift other people. And just, it's not hard to uplift other people. We just have to, people go through things, guys, like I said, that we don't know anything about. And just a friendly conversation in a chat on YouTube can change everything. And people want to be cared about and people want to be loved. And, it just takes that back and forth conversation and the kindness that people show to one another to really change a person's life. Guys, they could be bedridden, have multiple health problems. We don't know. I love you too, Gia. And we never know that. And, it's just better to be kind and let the unit when I believe if you bless someone else, it always comes back. There might be that person out there that has just given up and they come in and there's a lot of lonely people out there, guys. There really is. And when they come into the chat and you're nice to them and you talk back and forth, you're fine, Gia. Your English is fine. And you talk back and forth to them, and it gives them purpose. And they can feel that love that comes from another human being, guys, that they may not even have. So, with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for being here. Always be kind to everyone. We do not know the fire that people go through. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. You make my day. It's so much more fun for you guys to be here with me. And I will see you on Dawn's. Don't forget about her live coming up tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern because that's where I'll be. So until then, guys, take care of yourself, love one another, and have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. Bye bye. And thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.